Okay then, so we have the three basic widgets created for the structure of our app now. So I'd like to introduce the notion of user authentication. And by the way, these are faded out because we've not yet created those widgets. We created My App, Wrapper, Authenticate, and Home, right? So we want to only let authenticated users, people logged into the app, see the home screen on the right side and its children. If they're not, we only want to show them this side of the tree to either log in or register. Now to do this and to keep track of the authentication status of the user, we'll be using Firebase Auth. And that is a service by Firebase which is going to manage authentication for us. And it makes working with user authentication very easy for us as developers. So we've already hooked up our application to our Firebase project. We did that in the second lesson, and we installed both the Firebase Auth package and also the Cloud Firestore package. So we're pretty much ready to start working with Firebase Auth right away. But there is one more thing we need to do first of all, and that is to enable authentication methods in our Firebase project. So let's do that first of all. Alright, so inside our Firebase console now, we can go to authentication over here to try and set up authentication. And at the minute, you can see it's asking us to set up a sign-in method. So click on that, and it's going to throw up a load of different sign-in methods that we can use for our application. So we can use Facebook login, Google login, phone login, email and password, anonymous, all these different types of login. Now, what we're going to do is enable email and password. That's eventually what we're going to use, but we're also going to enable anonymous login as well, or sign in. And that means they don't have to supply any kind of email or password to sign in. And I'm doing that so that I can demo how easy it is to set up user authentication without having to create a form to capture any email or password data. We can just focus on Firebase Auth to begin with. So let's enable both of these methods, email and password, which we are going to use later. So enable and press save, and then anonymous at the bottom, press enable and then save. So now we've enabled both of those sign-in methods. It means from our Flutter app, we can use both of these sign-in methods. So let's go back to the code and do that. Okay then, so now we've enabled a couple of different sign-in methods, either email and password or anonymous. Let's try setting one up inside our app. Now the way I want to structure this is to have a separate class inside our app which is going to handle all different authentication cases, whether that be signing in or registering or signing out, etc. And that way all of our logic, all of our auth logic is going to live in one single place, and it won't be dashed about our different UI widgets. So this is going to make our app much more modular and definitely easier to update in the future. So first of all, let's create a new services folder inside our lib folder. We already have a folder for screens. We now need one for services because after all, this is a service. We're using Firebase Auth, which is a service. And in the future, we'll create another file inside that folder, which is going to be for interacting with the database service. Okay. So let's create a new folder called services. And inside here, we're going to create a new file, and I'm going to call this auth.dart. So this is for our auth service. Now inside here, we're going to use that Firebase Auth package that we installed back in the second lesson. So if we go to the pubspec.yaml file, we're going to see these two packages, Firebase Auth and Cloud Firestore, that we installed. We're going to use this one right here, Firebase Auth, inside this auth.dart file. So let's import, and we want Firebase Auth right here, this second one. Okay, so now we can start to use that inside this file. Now we want to create a class, and that is going to be called Auth Service, like so. And inside this class, this is where we're going to define all of the different methods that are going to interact with Firebase Auth for us. So we want to do a few different things in here, right? First of all, we want to create a method to sign in anonymously. So let's do a little comment for that. We also want to do a method to sign in with email and password. So sign in with email and password. We also want to do a method in the future to register with email and password. So we'll do a comment for that. And then finally, we do want some kind of method to allow us to sign out as well. So we'll create that in the future too. Now, the one we're going to focus on for now is signing in anonymously because that's the quickest to get up and running with. But first of all, what I want to do is create an instance of our Firebase Authentication. And this instance, this object that I'm going to create is then going to allow us to communicate with Firebase Auth on the back end. This is how it works, right? So inside here, I'm going to declare a final property. Final meaning it's not going to change in the future. And the type of this property is going to be a Firebase Auth object. So that's the type, right? And I'm going to call this auth, but I'm going to start it with an underscore. And that underscore at the beginning means that this property is private, meaning I can only use it in this file and not in another file, okay? So this private property auth is going to be equal to Firebase Auth, which we can now use because we've imported this library at the top, dot instance. So that right there, that is a property to get us a Firebase Auth instance, okay? And we see a blue squiggly line under this because we've not yet used it. That just means that this is an unused variable at the minute. But now we have this object, this Firebase Auth object, which is an instance of that Firebase Auth class. And that is going to give us access to all the different properties and methods on this class. So we can do things like sign in anonymously or with an email and password or register or sign out and all that kind of stuff. So whenever we want to do something, interact with Firebase Auth in the future, inside this class, we're going to use this auth property right here, okay? So let's flesh out this thing right here to sign in anonymously. So this is going to be an asynchronous task, and it's going to return a future. Now, if you're unsure what futures are, I've got a whole video of it inside the Flutter for Beginners series, so I'll leave that link down below. But anyway, it's going to return a future, and this is going to be called sign in anon. So that is a method name that I'm creating. It doesn't have to be called this, just makes sense to be called that because that's what we're doing. We're signing in anonymously. So this is asynchronous, so we need the async keyword, and inside here we want to try and interact with Firebase Auth to log in our user anonymously. Now this could end up in an error. So what we're going to do is embed this in a try and catch block. So we're going to try something, and then if that doesn't work, we're going to catch the error, and then we can react differently, okay? So what are we going to try? Well, we want to get some kind of authentication result from Firebase by making a request. So the way we make that request is via this auth object. And by the way, we need to await this because this is going to take some time to do. So we want to wait until this is complete before we assign the result to some kind of variable. Now, remember, I said that we access all the different methods or properties of the Firebase Auth class, which is responsible for us interacting with Firebase Auth via this object right here. So if I say auth and then dot, we can see all of these different methods that we can use. Now, we're going to use a method called sign in anonymously, which is right here. So this allows us to sign in anonymously to the application. Now, it's important that you have that method of authentication enabled in your Firebase project. We did that before. If you don't, this won't work. So this thing right here, once it's done, is going to return an auth result. And that is the type of object it returns, an auth result. Much like we have a type of future here returned, or a type of Firebase Auth here, the type of this thing right here that's returned is an auth result object. And you can call this what you will. I'll call it results and set it equal to this thing. So it's going to go out, it's going to try and sign in anonymously to our Firebase project, and it knows which Firebase backend to sync up with because we set all that up in the second lesson and we added in our Google services.json file into this Android folder before, so it knows to link up with our backend, tries to log us into the application, and it returns to us some kind of result, okay? Now, on that result object, we have access to a user object, which represents that user. So I could say now that the Firebase user object, and this is again the type of object, and we'll call it user, is equal to the result dot user, okay? So now we have access to that user, and if we wanted to, we could return that user. So I'm going to say return user, like so. Now we're not using this user object anywhere at the minute because we've not called this, but say for example, we called this function or method from the sign in page at some point, then what it's going to do is try and sign in, and then if it succeeds, it's going to return this user object to that sign in widget from where we call this method. Okay, then we can do something with that user later on. We're not doing that yet, we're just setting up this method. Anyway, if there is some kind of error, then it's going to catch that error right here. And for our sake, we could just print it to the console. So I'll say print the error dot toString. And underneath that, we'll also return something. We'll just return null. So if in the future we call this method from another widget, like the sign in widget, and we try to do this and it fails, then this time it will return null and we can do something with that. Okay? So there we go. That's our auth service class kind of set up. And we've also created this one thing right here, this one method that we can now try and use in a different widget to sign in anonymously. And we're going to try using this in the very next lesson.